What if you drop Tommy Shelby into Genghis Khan's empire? No guns, no gang, just a cigarette and a plan. Day 1. They drag him before the Khan. Genghis gives him 10 seconds to speak. Tommy doesn't beg. He points at the map and tells Genghis his supply route has a blind spot. Genghis checks. He's right. Week 1. Tommy hasn't touched a weapon. He's found something better. The merchants. He's trading furs for iron, iron for horses, horses for loyalty. 3 generals owe him and don't even know it yet. Month 1. Genghis doesn't summon Tommy anymore. Tommy summons meetings. He knows which generals are loyal and which ones talk too much. The ones who talk too much, they come to Tommy now. Month 6. Genghis won 3 battles using routes Tommy drew. He offers Tommy a title. Tommy says no. Offers land. No. An army. No. Then what do you want? Everyone in this camp already owes me something. Year 1. Genghis Khan built the largest empire in history. But there was one man he never gave an order to, because that man was the reason half his orders worked. Follow for more.
What if you had 30 days to spend $1 billion? Day 1, you receive $1 billion. The rules are explained to you. You can't donate it, give it away, or gamble it. You must spend it all or lose it. If you succeed, you'll receive $10 billion. You start by buying cars, watches, and houses. Money remaining, $850 million. Day 3, you buy mansions, buildings, and properties across the globe. The money starts to decrease, but not enough. Money remaining, $700 million. Day 5, you think bigger still. You attempt to buy an entire luxury cruise ship, but you're rejected. Not everything is for sale, even with that much money. Day 7, you change your strategy, you acquire a luxury supermarket for $50 million and even purchase a football club. Finally, the money starts moving. Money remaining, $550 million. Day 9, you buy a statue of Socrates. As you stare at it, you imagine it saying to you, if all this money is your power, who are you without it? For a moment, you have no answer. Then, frustrated, you smash it. Money remaining, $500 million. Day 15. Time is running out. You begin buying entire hotel chains, vast lands, priceless art. You start overpaying just to close deals faster. Money remaining, $300 million. You speed things up, buying factories, private jets, and more properties. The money finally starts to dwindle rapidly. Money remaining, $150 million. Day 25. You're almost there. You buy everything you can. Businesses, vehicles, exclusive contracts. Money remaining, $50 million. Day 30, the final day, you make massive last-minute purchases and close the final deals. You manage to spend every last dollar. Everything you bought disappears. And in that exact moment, your reward arrives, $10 billion. How would you actually die on different planets? If you travel to Mercury, you have 2 options. Land during the day, extremely high temperatures, you boil alive. Land at night, extreme cold, you freeze solid. On Venus, the pressure feels like being 1 kilometer underwater. You're crushed instantly. And if you somehow survive, acid rain finishes the job. On Earth, you have infinite options. Car accident, getting struck by lightning, or even a meteorite. Take your pick. Now, Uranus. It's completely dark and unimaginably cold. Winds reach impossible speeds. Deeper inside, it literally rains diamonds. On Saturn, you might not even reach the planet. Its massive rings are flying debris. Even if you make it through, there's no surface. You descend into the clouds and keep falling until you're gone. On Pluto, you'd run out of fuel before you even get there.
What happens if you spent 7 days in Germany? Day 1. You cross an empty road on a red light at 3 a.m. Suddenly, a German uncle spawns from a bush to scream at you. You haven't just crossed a street, you've insulted the nation's soul. You are now a marked criminal. Day 2. You buy a bottle of water. You see it costs an extra 25 cents. You realize you only get that money back if you return the empty bottle to a machine. Day 3. It's Sunday. You want to buy bread or a SIM card. You go outside, everything is closed. No shops, no malls, no life. Even making a loud sound in your own house is illegal. Day 4. You go to a supermarket. The cashier scans your items at the speed of light. If you don't pack your bags in 0.5 seconds, she starts throwing the next person's sausages at you. Day 5. You expected German efficiency, but the train is an hour late, then switches platforms, then gets canceled. Punctuality here is just a myth they tell foreigners to keep them from complaining. Day 6. You have a pizza box. You try to throw it away, you realize there are 5 different bins. If you put a piece of plastic in the paper bin, your neighbor will document it, take a photo, and leave a 3-page angry letter on your door. Day 7. You're dying of thirst and buy a bottle that looks like normal water. You take a huge gulp, it's classic sparkling water. It feels like you just swallowed 1,000 tiny needles. Your throat is burning, your eyes are watering, and you realize Germans actually drink liquid pain for fun. Now tell me, which country should I visit next?
What if you sneak into Area 51 being completely invisible? Hour 1. You arrive at the desert gate before sunrise. Cold wind, silent fences, cameras everywhere. You flip the switch, your body disappears. A guard walks right past you. Your heart pounds like a drum. You slip through the checkpoint. You walk inside the most secret base on Earth. Metal doors, echoing halls, white lights buzzing above you. You peek into a massive hangar. Something sits inside. Not a jet, not a drone. A black triangle floating silently above the floor. Hour 2. You move deeper into the base. Scientists rush between labs. You follow them inside. They are disassembling ancient UFO. The air smells like ozone and hot wires. You step closer to watch. One scientist suddenly freezes. You swear someone just walked past him. The room goes quiet. People start looking around. Hour 3. You slip into deeper underground tunnels. Long concrete corridors stretch for miles. You enter a quiet observation room and someone is already inside. A man in ancient robes stands beside you. You freeze. You recognize the face instantly. It's fucking Socrates. He looks directly at you and asks, if the guards can't see you, are they bad guards or are you a bad human? Before you answer, alarms quietly begin spreading across the base. More guards, more scanners, more patrols. They know something is wrong, but they still can't see you. You immediately leave the area. The base goes into full lockdown, but it's too late. You already know everything. You didn't just sneak into Area 51. You discovered we were never alone.
How long would you survive on each planet? On Mercury, the sun side is very hot and the night side is very cold. But if you stayed between those two sides, you could survive for up to about 2 minutes. But on Venus, the pressure is enormous and the atmosphere is completely toxic. You wouldn't survive even 1 second. On Earth, the only planet where you can breathe without problems. If you're lucky, you survive about 80 years. That's 9 years more than Socrates. On Mars, you would pass out in about 15 seconds and survive around 2 minutes. On the gas giants, you would fall deeper and deeper until the pressure destroys you in less than 5 seconds. On the ice giants, the cold and the extreme winds would finish you in less than 2 seconds. On the sun, you would be vaporized in 0.1 seconds.
What if you and your bro started a mafia gang in ancient Greece? Day 1, you both just walking around Athens. Stone buildings, people in robes. Then there's you two, full suits, black tie, mafia drip. Everyone staring like you don't belong. Nah. Day 4, bro starts recruiting, just walking up to random people. Want to join? Some confused, some scared, some just nod. Nah, it's working. Day 6, your gang starts growing. More people, more suits, whole streets turning black. Everyone walking with that aura. No one talking, just presence. Athens feels different. Day 10, you're in the market, whole squad behind you. Then this old man shows up, starts talking, non-stop, yapping. You're like, bro, ignore him. Nah, bro looks at him, pauses, then says, you're in. The old man just stands there, confused, then nods. Now he's the spokesperson of your gang. Still talking, still yapping. You look at bro like, really?
How long would you take to reach Mars with different vehicles? Level 1, running. At 20 kilometers per hour, reaching Mars would take you 1,284 years. Level 2, horse. A horse can reach 70 kilometers per hour. Sounds much faster, yet it would still take 366 years to arrive. Level 3, Formula 1. At more than 380 kilometers per hour, you would feel real speed, but Mars is still very far away, 67 years. Level 4, Japanese maglev. At 603 kilometers per hour, reaching Mars would take almost half your life, 42 years. Level 5, Boeing 747. Flying at 920 kilometers per hour, you meet Socrates, but you don't have time for philosophy. 28 years of travel await you. Level 6, NASA X-15. At more than 7,200 kilometers per hour, you would arrive in 3.5 years. Level 7, Saturn V rocket. At almost 40,000 kilometers per hour, you could reach Mars in 240 days. Level 8, the fastest thing in the universe. At the speed of light, even then it would take 12 minutes to arrive. How fast would each era of history end you? Ice Age. You wake up in -40. No fire, no shelter. A mammoth walks past. It's not scared of you. Nothing here is. You're the least dangerous thing alive. Bronze Age Egypt. 113 degrees. Your job is dragging a stone block heavier than a car. Breakfast is bread and beer. Lunch is bread and beer. You collapse by noon. An Egyptian kid half your age is still pulling. Ancient Rome. You're thrown into the Colosseum. You're not alone. A barefoot man next to you looks at the gladiator, looks at the sword, looks at the crowd, and asks,
"Is this really the best system you have?"
He lasts shorter than you do. Medieval Europe, 1347. You notice a black spot on your neck. That's the plague. The doctor shows up in a bird mask. His treatment is draining your blood. You were healthier before he arrived. Aztec Empire. Priests welcome you with open arms. Literally, they grab your arms and walk you up a pyramid. 20,000 people watching. The sun needs blood to rise tomorrow. Today, that blood is yours. This era didn't even give you a chance. Feudal Japan. You make eye contact with a samurai. He reaches for his katana. You have 4 seconds to bow. You don't know how deep. The wrong depth is an insult. 3 seconds left. What if you sold hot Cheetos in ancient Egypt? Day 1. You arrive in Egypt with a bag of hot Cheetos. It's 113 degrees. You hand one to a pyramid worker. He bites it, drops to his knees, thinks he's been poisoned. Then he asks for another one. Day 2. Word spreads. They call it the Red Curse. Half the pyramid crew has red fingers and stomach problems. The foreman thinks it's a plague. He shuts down construction. Day 3. Cleopatra hears about the Red Curse. She sends a servant to bring her a bag. She tries one, doesn't flinch, asks for something spicier. Nobody has ever asked for something spicier than hot Cheetos. You're scared of her now. Week 1. Tax collector shows up.
"What are you selling?"
You say snacks. He tries one, grabs his stomach, runs behind the pyramid. You hear sounds no man should hear. He comes back, writes down 0 taxes and takes 3 bags. Month 1. Somehow Socrates is visiting Egypt. He walks up and stares at your sticky fingers. You don't wait for a question. You shove a handful of hot Cheetos in his mouth. He can't talk. First time in his life. You charge him triple and almost feel bad.
"If using me is your power, what are you without it, Mr.
Almost. What if you bring JCB to ancient Rome? Day 1. You enter Rome driving a yellow machine. No horses, just hydraulics. Workers freeze. You lower the arm. One scoop. A trench appears instantly. Hours of labor deleted in seconds. Day 2. You park near a construction site. Crowds gather before sunrise. They call it the Earth Eater. A foreman watches you lift massive stone blocks alone. 20 workers gets fired instantly. Laborers lose purpose. Some even start writing sad poems. Week 1. One farmer steps forward to see you. He looks familiar. You remove his bandana. "It's goddamn Socrates," he asks. "If the machine builds your world, who is actual builder?" You don't argue. You hand him the controls. He studies the levers, pulls one. The arm moves. He adjusts again, and he digs a clean foundation in seconds. You instantly hire him as assistant operator. Month 1. Now you have full monopoly on construction in Rome. Now Socrates works day and night while you are sitting on your palace eating your meat. You didn't just bring JCB into Rome, but you gave Socrates actual job. What happens if you lit a match on different planets? On Earth, you strike it, it lights. You get a normal orange flame, nothing special. Mars has a full carbon dioxide atmosphere. You could scrape the box 100 times, but without oxygen, you will never see a single spark. On Venus, the extreme heat would make the matchbox burst into flames on its own, but Venus's crushing atmospheric pressure would extinguish it instantly. On Jupiter, if you bring your own oxygen supply, you could light the match. Big mistake. You would trigger an enormous fireball, turning everything around you into vapor and heat. On Neptune, winds of 1,500 miles per hour would send your matchbox flying, and you would never get to light anything. On Pluto, the match, the box, and the sulfur all freeze solid before you even try. On the moon, there is no atmosphere, but with your oxygen supply, you could ignite a perfect electric blue fireball floating in total silence. But Titan has methane lakes. You light one match near the shore, and the entire lake explodes into blue fire. What happens if you try to make pancakes on different planets? You pour the batter. On Earth, easy. Flip, cook, done. Perfect pancake. Now Mercury, you don't even flip it. One side touches the pan, instantly burned. The other side, still raw. You somehow made a pancake that's both overcooked and undercooked. Now Mars, you pour the batter, and it starts bubbling weirdly. It dries out mid-cook and turns into this thin, brittle disc. You try to flip it, it just snaps. Now Viltrum, everything feels heavier. The batter barely spreads, it just sits there, thick, dense. You flip it, and it slams into the pan pan like a brick. This isn't a pancake anymore. It's a weapon. Neptune. You pour the batter and it immediately slides. The wind is insane. Your pan is shaking. The batter is moving. You're chasing your pancake around like it's alive. Titan. Thick atmosphere. Everything feels slow. The batter spreads. You flip it in slow motion. This might be the longest pancake of your life. And then the moon. You pour the batter and it just kind of floats. You try to flip it. It leaves the pan entirely. Now you're just watching your pancake drift away into space. So yeah, making pancakes isn't about cooking. It's about where you're cooking.